Hi, I'm Troy Aikman of the Dallas Cowboys. Over the years.
Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, man, this literally does not work. If I were at home right now, I'd be flipping the switch saying, let's get open for business here, but I'm actually in Atlanta, and I've been here since we drove down Friday. And getting ready for the Super Bowl and doing some great work and stuff. In fact, up early doing, this is actually amazing, going through United Way ads. Basically, we've got all of these ads.
United Way has a whole new game. I want us all to be part of that winning team for United Way. This is the Infant Intervention Center. It's just one of the more than 100 agencies and programs helping people in Dallas. Sometimes it takes the biggest and the strongest among us.
Look at Troy.
Most needy among us. United Way is too important to turn our backs on, because these children and all of us may need help at one time in our lives. United Way will be there, but only if you care. Only if you all be there.
I actually have to go through, it's basically hours of United Way footage and break them down into like Instagram size stuff. So I've been working on this late last night and this morning and stuff. But it's amazing the amount of players that have come through the United Way and worked with United Way and things like that. It's funny because we always hear about, the problem guys on the field, about this guy that's, done this domestic violence or was arrested for drunk driving and stuff. But the guys that really do good, they're not out there necessarily pounding the pavement to say, look at me and all the great stuff that I do. And it's amazing to me the power that football players have. I've been blessed to have met a lot of these guys, do a little bit of work here and there with them. And it's amazing because I can go to a kid and say, kid, listen, man, you need to stay on the straight and narrow, stay away from drugs, get an education and stuff like that. And you can make it. It goes in one ear and out the other. But you get an NFL player to tell you anything, their ears perk up. They're there listening on every word. And there are a lot of great ones that are out there that are doing a lot of great things. It's just we don't publicize it. And so, going through and looking at all these old spots from Roger Staubach and, seeing Troy Aikman and things like that, and thinking about Dak Prescott, who is a Man of the Year nominee, as well as 31 other players. We focus too much on the negative as opposed to the positive, and I'm blessed to be able to be part of this and doing this stuff even early in the morning. But here we are. We got our Dallas Cowboys. For all intents and purposes, they're done until the league year starts in March. They can go out and work and do stuff together, and I bet you that they will after the Super Bowl and stuff. Just keep working and hanging out and doing things, because I really feel like this Dallas Cowboy team is a family. I may be wrong, but I think that these guys generally care about each other. Now, after seeing the Pro Bowl yesterday, or at least seeing some of the highlights, or actually hearing some of the lowlights, sorry, my back is killing me. Oh, boy. The question is, do you have concerns? And that wasn't a real game. It wasn't really game plan. And those guys literally have only played together for a couple of days, and it wasn't like a real game intensity. We're told that, this was the debut of Kellen Moore. So my question to you guys is, do you feel better or worse about the coaching situation, having fired Scott Linehan? Experience is the key question here. Scott Linehan had all kinds of experience. And when you look at the NFL, we as fans want to see stuff instantaneous, or sometimes we don't look at things in the full picture. For example, free agency. that is an emotional time for an NFL fan, because so many times you see teams that go out and they sign a bunch of players, and it gets you a false sense of security. You know, like when the Redskins got Albert Hainsworth, for example, they were looking at a defense that was really good to begin with. And the Redskins figured, if we just get that one guy, he's going to make all the difference in the world. He's going to take our defense and take it to another level. Look what he did in Tennessee. Now we get him there with our Redskins. We're going to be unstoppable. And he signed that $100 million contract, which was unheard of at that time. But it ended up being that a lot of times free agents are a product of the team and the people around them or the system. And it doesn't necessarily translate to other places. Alvin Harper fit in perfect with the Dallas Cowboys as the slot guy, because you had an Emmitt Smith that was running all over the place, because you had a Michael Irvin that went deep. There were too many pieces to cover. So Alvin Harper was the guy that was getting single coverage, and when he was in the slot, boom, Troy Aikman could hit him in stride and he could take it to the house. The problem was, once he left that system that had a great offensive line, that had a great quarterback, that had a great running back, that had another great wide receiver, and he goes to a place like Tampa Bay or Washington and then has to be the guy, then it doesn't work. And we've seen that happen over and over again. But as fans, as we Cowboy fans sit back and you see all these teams sign all these big name players, and we don't, we feel left out. Because we're looking at guys like, you say Antoine Woods, who's that guy? While other teams are signing Pro Bowlers or guys that have had a great career. But the thing about it is, you're not somebody until you become somebody. And when you get to like free agency, these are guys that have already been in the league for 4, 5, 6 years that are getting that next contract, not realizing that the life expectancy of a football player is 3-point-some years. That more times than not, these are guys that are on the downside of their career. What you have to be able to get is that guy who's going to become somebody, who becomes somebody in your system. And that's the question we have to answer, is Kellen Moore going to become somebody in our system, as opposed to getting somebody who's already been established. I look around the NFL, and for the most part, all of the hires of coaches and coordinators and stuff are basically guys that have been through other programs. You don't see any great coaches that have come out. You see the retreads, basically the free agents in football that are looking for that next contract. Guys that may not have succeeded elsewhere, but have done an okay job. So I'm on the fence about the idea of Kellen Moore, if it's going to work or not. Dak seems to believe in him. John Gruden, although his star is tarnished, seems to believe in him. And apparently the Joneses believe in him. They believe in him more than they believe in Scott Linehan. Or at least at this moment, we believe they do. For all we know, because the Cowboys are truly a wild card team, where your guess is as good as mine. For all we know, it could be somebody on the Rams or the New England staff that they want to talk to after next Sunday. Nothing would surprise me about the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, nothing. So I just have to figure out how I feel about this whole situation. And I don't think that Pro Bowl is the place that you're really going to find out whether or not somebody can coach. But then again, 148 yards of offense. Yeah. Whew. Well, I got a whole lot more work to do here. A whole lot more videos to cut. And we'll be back down at NFL Experience later on today. And, oh my goodness. Stay tuned this week, guys. You never know who we might run into and get to meet. I'll see you guys soon.